Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Herrschaft, and I am presenting this poster on substance use treatment service utilization in Nebraska that I developed alongside my coworker, Patrick Habecker. So we know from prior research that substance use treatment service modality can have an important impact on the quality of substance use treatment, as different service modalities are most ideally suited to treat different conditions and people in different situations. Unfortunately, for many people, especially those in more remote regions, the ideal service type for their needs might not be readily available. So we use two federally maintained databases to assess how the substance use treatment profile in Nebraska varied across its core-based statistical areas. So core-based statistical areas are defined by the Office of Management and Budgets, and it classifies counties according to their socioeconomic ties to urban centers. The exact criteria underlying these determinations can be seen in Figure 1, but in short, counties with ties to large urban centers are classified as metropolitan, counties with ties to medium-sized urban centers are classified as micropolitan, and counties with no such ties are classified as outside CBSAs or core-based statistical areas. And so the first data set we used was the treatment episode data set. And so this data set contains details on admissions to substance use treatment centers in Nebraska from all the facilities that receive government money. And the specific data set we looked at was the one for 2017. These are conducted annually, and 2017 was our most recent data. So using this data, we started to notice interesting patterns in the admissions profile across Nebraska's core-based statistical areas. As can be seen in Figure 2 by looking at the distribution of the red color sections of the bars, we noticed that a far lower proportion of admissions in micropolitan regions were being addressed by the 24-hour detox freestanding residential treatment type compared to other regions. And then further, we noticed that a much higher proportion of admissions in micropolitan environments were addressed using an ambulatory, non-intensive outpatient setting compared to admissions in metropolitan and outside CBSAs. And that difference can be seen by looking at the dark blue bars. When we looked at this, we thought that these differences in admissions might be attributable to varying patterns of substance use across the CBSAs. Right? So if there's different patterns of substance use, then those people and the patterns might look different because they're being addressed using different service types. So when we looked at how the service utilization for the same substance varied across the CBSA regions, we found noticeable differences. Specifically, we found that residential treatment for methamphetamine and alcohol were much more common in metropolitan regions than in micropolitan regions. And further, that outside core-based statistical areas relied much more on residential treatment for cocaine, heroin, and benzodiazepine treatment than the micropolitan regions. And while we still have many questions about what this data means, to us this suggests that even between the core-based statistical areas, people presenting with similar substance use problems might be serviced through different treatment modalities. And so that led us to wonder if service utilization differences might be attributable to service offering differences. So in order to assess that question, we use the Behavioral Health Treatment Service Locator, acronym BHTFL, compiled by SAMHSA's Center of Behavioral Health Statistics and Quality, to assess substance use service facility offerings across the state's core-based statistical areas. And in order to answer that, we generated Table 1, where we noted that there were indeed differences in service offerings across the CBSAs. Notably, we noticed a lack of facilities offering residential services in outside core-based statistical areas relative to micropolitan and metropolitan areas, along with a more general small count of treatment centers in outside regions, especially given the geographical size of those outside core-based statistical areas. And so this project gives us a descriptive introduction into how the substance use treatment profile differs across Nebraska's core-based statistical area. However, this kind of project still leaves us with many questions about what might these differences be attributable to and their overall public health significance. So we look forward to discussing those questions and any other questions that you guys have more soon when we see you in the discussion portion of this conference. So thank you for coming to this presentation, and I hope to talk with you soon. Goodbye.